Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another live stream. We're going to go ahead and get started here. First of all, welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a little bit of a late one tonight, but I figured, you know what? There's always time for Blender, right? We'll always make time because we love this program. We want to learn more, and we want to spread some education throughout our community. So today we're going to be taking some comments or questions on Blender, anything in the industry, things that you guys want to learn or know. And I was thinking it would be really cool if I could showcase to you guys how to actually create an add-on, or maybe how to create a geometry node setup that you can sell as an actual product, and kind of like how I go about that workflow. So that's something that we're going to be getting into today, but go ahead and drop a comment down below. Let us know how you guys are doing and what it is that you want to see in this live stream. So I'm going to go ahead and start a poll here, and I'm going to say, hello, what would you like to see? What should we make? And I was, again, thinking the our own sellable product. Okay, I was also thinking maybe geometry nodes. Physics is always fun too. Or alternatively, we can do modeling. I think a lot of people love modeling because it's kind of like a chill workflow, but obviously it's going to be totally up to you guys. All right, I'm also going to go ahead and play some music here while we wait for some people to pop into our chat here. I'm thinking hacker vibes. That's kind of like the first thing I think of. Let's see, cyber apartment sounds cool too. Late night coding. Let's see how this sounds. Let's try hacker radio. Hacker radio, you can't really go wrong for that. All right, we have 6 votes. It looks like people really want to take a look at a sellable product. I like that. I like that a lot. And now we just got to come up with an idea together. Got to get really creative here and think, what is it that someone would want to use in Blender, and how can we make it useful to the end user? How do we make something that's actually usable in Blender? And then how do we sell that thing, right? There's a lot to think about here. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the live stream. Get your votes in. Get your votes in. Oh, wow. It is an even split. A perfect even split. Might need... My gosh, we have exactly 12 people, and we have 8 votes. Okay, so we could get 4 more votes to sway here. General Kenobi. Oh, my gosh. That's funny. It's 10-8-26. Nice. All right, looks like there's still only 8 votes. I'm going to pull up some project from our last live stream here. We've been doing... Oh, probably geometry nodes. Yeah, probably not Python now. We've been looking at some really fun projects, and we've also been creating our own projects too, which has been super, super fun. Oh man, we did a lot in the couple live streams that we were on here. Yeah, most likely probably geometry nodes. Not to disappoint, but yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. A lot of, honestly, I was actually thinking a little bit about this clay thing we were making earlier. This was like a fun one. Could be something cool that you could sell as a you know, an add-on or like a product. There's plenty of clay shaders out there though. Node-based add-on builder? No, we're not gonna be using that. Nope. We're gonna be using okay, so it looks like modeling might take the cake here. Okay, modeling should work. That's fine. So yeah, so all right, we'll do modeling. Hi, how you doing, Mike Post? Good to see you, my friend. All right, now the question is, what do we want to see modeled? Now, there's a couple different like ways that we can take this. Add-ins are written with Python. Exactly, add-ons, right? Okay, no. Okay, so yeah, we're not going to be creating an add-on per se. It would be more like a geometry node setup, or like a procedural setup that someone can use like as a product, but it's not going to be an add-on that you would install with like a zip file now. Good call though. I'm glad you asked that, because we should probably clarify that. All right, it looks like people are looking for modeling. Awesome. Okay, we can do modeling. I had a request the other day to do... I'm going to end the poll. I had a request the other day to do a Game Boy. So I just wanted to take a look at that again. I'll take it like the original Game Boy here. Yeah, this is a cool one. Oh, man. It really doesn't get much better than that, does it? I like these ones too. They're kind of fun. We could probably try one of those. They're relatively simple, more or less. The hard part, honestly, is these little concave parts, because if you want it to look like a seamless mesh, you're going to have to really work on it. This is such a cool, what a cool product that was. I mean, really, like, how lucky were we to be able to have access to this? I don't even think people realized how lucky we truly were to have access to these games. I mean, yes, it was like brand new stuff, and it was, I guess, semi affordable, but man, these were just there was just something about these. This is the OG Game Boy right here. All right, you know what? I kind of want to do this one, so maybe we'll go with this one. This was the Game Boy Advance. Yeah, let's go ahead and find a clean shot of this. We'll probably do a couple of reference pictures too. You know what's crazy? You can't really find a crazy high resolution one of these, can you? Because it's such a long... Okay, that one's pretty high res. All right, we'll save this. That'll be a reference. And I just need kind of like a top-down view. It's pretty decent. I feel like we can probably go off of just a couple of... Yeah, I feel like we can go off of a couple of these. This looks pretty good. Just looking for a few more references, and then we're going to get started. It shouldn't be terribly difficult to model this. Oh, that's a good reference, too. Save this. Awesome. This is another good reference for, like, the material. Like, I kind of want to... Yeah. Let's see. Save this. Game Boy Advanced SP. That's what it's called. Game Boy Advance SP. Okay. Oh, look at that. Whew. Oh, my God, dude. We had it good, bro. We had it good, man. We had it really good. I mean, can I get a Game Boy in the chat, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, these were the days, guys. These were the days. Look at this thing. Oh, my gosh, bro. Oh, this is a good shot of the proportions, so I'm going to go ahead and save this. All right, we should have plenty of references. Oh, Pip-Boy. That could be a cool one. That could be a cool one, too. All right, let's go ahead and add some reference images in here. I'm really just going to go ahead and find that one top-down view, and then I'll probably put one up in the corner, too. And you'd already know we're probably going to rig this thing up. All right, first things first, what were the dimensions of this bad boy? Let me get the Blender dimensions of this real quick. Game Boy Advanced SP. I usually, just so you guys know, like I do use ChatGPT for this. All right, I got Blender dimensions. All right, cool. And what I'll do is I'll get the dimensions for this. I'll add in a cube. All right, and watch what I'll do. Over here is what I'll do is I'll actually put the dimensions in. So the closed dimensions, like when it's actually closed, is actually going to be perfect on both sides. So it's going to be 0.082 on both. 0.082 on the X. All right. So it's going to be that thin. The Y depth, which is going to be the actual... Actually, no, that's not correct. No, I actually think they got it incorrect on here. Yeah, hold on. Nah, this is going to be the Z. Yep, Z, and then we need the other one, which is going to be the actual... This is going to be the left and right. All right, so we got X, now we need to put it Y. All right, so this is the actual size of the Game Boy. So what I'll do is I'll scale this down. Remember, guys, I'm doing this so that we have like a general reference of... This is perfect. General reference of how big it is. That's perfect. See how now we know? We know this is exactly how big the Game Boy is. So I can go ahead and save this before we start modeling. All right, there we go. Nice. All right, here we go. So one of the things I'm going to do in our modeling layout here is I'm going to actually hide most of the things. Toolbar, the end panel. I don't really need those things, but what I do want is on the top right, I'm going to go ahead and grab an image. I'm going to open that up. And I'm going to go to my downloads, and we're going to find a really good reference. I think I really liked, I feel like this one was pretty good. This one just kind of gives you a better idea of like what this looks like. We're going to be starting with the base here, and then we'll work our way up. But overall, oh man, was this thing cool. So there's going to actually be some complex parts to this, right? This may look very simple, but there's going to be a few parts of this that's really going to challenge us to think outside the box when it comes to designing things in Blender. So what I'm really excited about is, well, first of all, we already have this cube, right? So we know that this should be half the height. So I'll just go ahead and split this directly in half. I'll go divided by 2. And now we know that two of these are going to stack on top of each other like this, and that's going to ultimately be the Game Boy. Now, eventually, obviously, one side is going to be able to pivot, right? So what I'll do is I'll place my face on the bottom right. Go ahead and get started here. I'm going to hide this. I'm probably just going to start with this cube. And since I know for a fact that I can look on the top down, we'll start there. All right, now let's take a really close look at some of these details. Right now, I know this thing's not going to be like perfectly symmetrical, but what I do know is that we're going to have to bevel these corners. So I'll go ahead and I'll go into my solid view here. I will select each edge, and I think I'll just start with a bevel and kind of just get a feel for that. There we go. Let's do this. Perfect. So I have every corner selected. I'll go to my top-down view. Yeah, it should be beveled. It's hard to see behind this, but it is beveled on the bottom too. It's almost two separate pieces. All right, let's see what we can do. Let's go to our top-down view. Let's bevel it. Now, I'm going for like the ultra basics here because eventually we're going to actually go in and we are going to add probably a subdiv modifier. So I'm really going to keep it basic and light first, and then we're going to kind of play with the proportions as we go. I also think I'm going to add a loop cut where this piece is here. I'm going to add a loop cut like right here. I'm going to add another one right here because I'm kind of seeing this pattern happening. Now this part right here will actually kind of get inset like that eventually, but I don't think I'm quite ready for that because there's a lot of other weird like intricate details that are going to come into play here. So I think I'll keep this really basic at first. Then down here, this piece here is going to have like a slot in the front. So what I think I'll do, it's really hard to see what it looks like on the other side because I don't have one in front of me, but I think it insets, this is going to be a tough one. For now, I'll just inset it a little bit. I'm looking just to imagine how I'm going to do this. There's a lot of ways that you can go about doing this here. You could subdivide the bottom and the top and then push this back a little bit. I might come back to this small detail here. All right, so far so good. Top has a slight bevel too. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this top loop here. I am going to bevel it just ever so slightly. Before I do that though, object apply scale. My bevel, I want my bevel to be even. Perfect. Okay, so now you see it's like very, very slight bevel. So far, so good. Yeah, you can inset and then move the bottom rebar. Yes, you can. Yep, that's definitely a possibility as well. We'll come back. We'll probably come back to that. All right, let's do matte cap. How about we do... Is there settings? Oh, crap. Did not mean to do that. There we go. Let's see what we have here. It's crazy how many choices you really get. I think I'll just stick with this one for just right now. Let me see something here. All right. That's what the subdiv. Interesting. Okay. Yep, so we're definitely going to have to... I guess I could use a mirror modifier. I'm just thinking this through before I do anything else to this model. All right, so I got my top face. Let's take our top face and let's subdivide it a bunch of times and kind of add those little details in. I'm just looking, I'm looking to make sure. So I'm looking right here at these pieces, these small details. I most likely can probably do some of this stuff with a Boolean. Already visible how the hull is designed below. The hull, you said? Hold on, let me think about this before I do anything else. Okay, I think I'm going to separate part of this. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So, okay, so I'm going to go to select more, and then I think I'm going to do one more, select more. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, I'm going to click separate selection. So now I have this top piece and the bottom piece, and I think what that's going to allow me to do is actually get a pretty decent result here when it comes to like the actual separation, and then I can probably cut a Boolean into both. I'm just trying to think it through so I don't make this look absolutely atrocious. Okay, Boolean, okay, cool. All right, now for the top, I think I'm going to take my top face. I'm going to just start subdividing it a bunch of times here, which it's not letting me do because I accidentally, I think I know why it's not letting me do that. It's because I beveled it. Let me see something face. Can I do grid fill? That works. All right, grid fill is fine. Now with grid fill, let me see something. All right, that's pretty even split. Let me see if I can subdivide. Well, let me subdivide these guys. There we go. That's what I wanted. All right, so I think we're doing good here now. All right, that's what I wanted. I wanted control over like the top faces here. Now that we have that, I'm going to go to this view here. I think I'll subdivide one more time. I'm just looking to make sure that I can connect things the way that I want to, so that I can inset them and then fill those faces to get these small concave sections. For example, like right here, what I'll probably end up doing is like deleting pieces until I get like a perfect circle. Or I know there's a way to get a square. I think you can go like this and get a square as well. Pretty sure you can convert that to a square. I don't remember exactly how though. Let's see if I remember. Edge. See if I remember. Subdivide now. You know, it's funny. I remember how to do this, but like I also don't. Already, when you say the whole, what exactly did you mean? Because I just want to make sure. Also, that's not how you spell. That's not how you spell inset. It'd be an interesting way to spell it though. That's for sure. All right. It's crazy, man. This program is wild because like there's so many ways you could take this, and I'm like, what is the best way? I don't want to give people like the wrong way to do it. All right, let's see. 2, 3, 4. So like for example, these right here, this could turn into a circle, right? Where is it? Where is it? Let me just see if I can look it up real quick. Blender mesh per. Oh, loop tools. Click circle. Right click. Loop tools. Oh, that's it. Right click, loop tools, circle. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to basically make like a perfect square. Is that a perfect square? It is, but I want to start right here. Let me see if this even works on this. Wow, it actually does work. That's crazy. I did not expect that to work. Now, is that aligned properly? Probably not. So I think we could do this. Is this square? I don't think it is, so hold on. Oh, it's tough because it doesn't line up perfectly, but I guess I could, hold on. See if this works. Right click, loop tools, circle. I love that. That tool is fantastic. Guess I could just move it until I like what I see, right? Now the real question is, if I take this circle, can I just delete these faces and then inset that? I don't know. Let's see if this works. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Oh my god, it does work. Can I do grid fill here? That would be crazy. I honestly didn't expect that to work. Okay, now that I know that works though, okay, I can do this for every single thing now. Well, this one's gonna be much easier because we only have 1, 2, 3, 4. What do we got? 4 faces right here. And then, well, here's the thing. I can go like this. I can do loop tools circle, and then I can scale this in however I want till it's about that size. Let me just make sure it's not messing up the other area. Okay, it's not. It's crazy. I don't usually use loop tools for this, but this gets the job done. Not a bad one. Thank you for making the videos. Oh yeah, no problem. And then we'll do face. Or no, I'm sorry. Face, yeah, grid fill. Dude, insane. Insane. I honestly would have never thought to use it like that, but I'm glad it's working out really nicely. All right, now this will be the fun part. This part here. We'll come back to that. We'll do what we know first. Hold up. Get this. I want a perfect square. I wonder if, can I do it twice on 2 of them? I'm curious. Will this work if I do loop tools circle? Wow, it'll do it on both of them. That's crazy. And then just delete the faces. Wow, bro. And then this will be interesting. I'll have to ES. I'm really just going to have to eyeball this one. ES. Right? Except I can bring them both down the same level. And then I can do face grid fill. Well, no, I can't do that. I can do face grid fill there. I can do face grid fill. Okay, I think we got at least those pieces there. I'm curious though, if I add a subdiv, what would happen? Okay, I figured. So what I would do on these edges is I would, I believe you can just take this edge. I don't know why it's not letting me select the whole thing, but if you take this edge, I think you can just give it a crease. That helps a little bit. Might have to like come back in here and do something else though. Perfect crease would look like that. We don't want like a perfect crease. That's crazy that you can do that. I really can't believe that that worked, honestly. I've seen, it's funny, I've seen plenty of videos, and I'm not really a modeling guy. I've seen plenty of videos of that, but I've never really done that. And someone said, "What's up, King? How you doing?" Appreciate the compliment. All right, very good. Okay, so now all we need to do is we need to go to our top-down view. We need to save real quick, and then this will be fun. This little part here will be interesting. I'm kind of curious myself to see how I do this. Part of me wants to bring out my tool panel and just go to select circle and just select as much as I can inside this like zone. Does that make sense? And then just kind of delete and then reposition vertices, because I think we might be able to get away with this here. So yeah, like this. That's good. 2, 3, 4, 5. Trying my best here to make sure, like, let's get this guy. This is going to be an interesting part. I wonder what would happen if I did loop tools circle. Nah, loop tools relax. No, but let's delete the faces. I wonder, can I select this as an edge loop? Can I, and then can I relax it? That'll be interesting. Let's see if we can do that. Loop tools relax. Loop tools. Relax, bro. So then what I'll do is I'll probably just straighten this out myself and then relax it even further. So let's go ahead and make sure we are on this. Awesome. I'm going to go back to my select box. And I think this is it's really tough to see like the edge here. So I'm going to have a little bit of difficulties here, but I'm going to try my best to move these out where they should be. I'm also going to turn off my subdiv for just 1 second so I can actually see what's going on. I'm going to select these guys here because these all need to be straightened, and I think I can do that with flatten. I don't know if it'll work on this edge, but I can relax this area. Perfect. Relax. Perfect. Go ahead and take this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Relax these guys. Bring this guy down. Again, I'm just kind of going for it here. It's not going to be perfect right away, but we'll go for it and see how we do. Perfect. Yeah, so we can kind of just straighten those up. Awesome. Easy and, oh, sorry, 2 circles with manual joining the new edges. That's also, oh, why didn't I think of that, bro? That's such a perfect solution. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I'll do that the next time around. For now, I'm just going to piece this together as I see it. Bro, that is literally the perfect solution, and I'm kind of mad at myself for not realizing that. Gosh. Wow, you guys can definitely call me a loser for that one. I feel like a little bit of a moron now. Let's see. I'm gonna take these guys. I'm just gonna keep relaxing this until I feel like it's like in a good spot. Yeah, there we go. It's not perfect, dude. I literally can't believe I didn't think of that. I feel like I'm so far in it that I can't necessarily go back now, but. That was a great suggestion, and I can't believe I didn't think of that. You win some, you lose some, right? It's really hard to tell if this side is correct. Okay. It's funny, like, I don't use the select tool often, but I probably should have used it for this scenario. Control Z. I know. I think I'm too far forward though. Bro, what happened here? How did those? Bro, what? I really don't know where those pieces came from. I did not see those at all. Did I miss those this whole time? Let's see this. All right. I still can't believe I did that, bro. Honestly, bro, you have the right to be mad at me for that, because that was not okay. The folder of shame. All right, bro. Now, don't be mean, guys. Don't be mean. Don't be mean. Oof. You know what I need to do, bro? This is gonna irritate me beyond belief. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a I'm gonna do literally exactly what this guy said real quick, because it's driving me crazy now. I'm so sorry, guys, but I have to do this. I just need to get a cylinder here, and then like extrude half of the cylinder real quick. Just do this. There we go. At least give me an idea of, yeah, okay, there, that's much better. All right, now that I have this, I can do solidify. And now I can just square this up, because bro, I don't want to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. That's what we're not going to do, is talk about it, bro. And then after this is all cleaned up, we're just going to pretend like this never happened, and I will regain my street cred for Blender. That's what will happen. I was like, I knew something looked off too, and now that I see it, I'm like, bro, I'm a little bit like, wow, I can't. Yes, I realize, I know, I'm waiting to come back to the left looks fat. You said fat? Yeah, it does look a little bit. All right, we're refining it. We're refining it. It's one way to do it. This is really not the best way to do it, but we're doing it. It's all going to be worth it when this thing's done, because I actually think it's going to look really, really cool. At least that's a little bit better. Oh my god, bro. It's annoying that I wish like Blender recognized this. I know it's not a loop. Oh my gosh. But I wish Blender would recognize it as a loop, because then it would just, I could have selected the whole thing by now. All right. I'm feeling a lot better about that. I know, you're not torturing me. I know, I'm trying to center it. Believe it or not though, that's also like part of the shadow. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to scale it out. I'm going to rotate it a little bit. It's really genuinely difficult to see. There's a shadow on there, so it's kind of hard to see it. I'm trying my best here, guys. All right, that looks good. And guess what? I'm not doing anything else. How about that? All right, we're good. Can I grid fill this? That would be crazy. Oh, let's go. Let me just do this. Oh. Bro, Blender walk of shame, bro. Blender walk of shame right now. Oh my god. Bro. There we go. Alright, let's get a crease on here. Why you no crease, bro? Oh, I know why. Oof. Oh my god. It looks so bad, bro. Ugh. Ugh. I got 5 backseat drivers. I know, I'm used to it. I'm used to it. We listen, we don't judge. Yo, we listen, we don't judge. The angle is not right. Rotation angle. All right. Enough comments. You guys are cut off. You're cut off from the comments. I'll come back to it if I feel like it. How about that? The only thing I don't like about that circle thing, and it's probably is it auto smooth? Oh, that's part of it. Okay. I think, oh my gosh, bro, I wasn't on edge select, bro. I knew it. That's part of it. The other thing is, like, why? It almost feels like some of these edges are not getting properly, like, creased. Let me see something here. Oof. All right, you know what? We'll come back to all this other fun stuff. I'm pretty generally happy with some of it. I'm not like entirely happy with it, but it'll be fine. I really think you should delete a square in that whole area, refill it, and re-subdivide it, and then do the loop tool circle thing from the beginning. Okay. You're talking about over here, this area? Yeah, something weird happened when I did that, and I don't know if it was. Let me see something here. We'll revisit this just for a second here. I'm gonna delete these faces here. Something weird did happen, and I don't know what it is. All right, let's see. It'd be cool if it would treat, again, it would be nice if it would treat this as just like, so annoying that it doesn't do that. Like, then you have to come in here and it's like, it's annoying. He said, yup. Yup. All right, I'll accept my fate. I mean, I guess this is what it takes. I don't know. I really, like, I could grid fill it. You're saying just re-grid fill the whole thing and do the other way? I know. I know, bro. Really don't know how some of these didn't get deleted. All right, where are we at? Okay, so now we have this. Okay. And it looks normal. Kind of. And then we come in here. We take the edge. Or do we grid fill it first? No, we don't want to grid fill it first. Maybe I missed a piece when I was extruding it. Is that possible? Nah, it's not. Extrude, scale. Bro, it looks totally different now. What is happening? Is everyone seeing this? Like, it looks completely different than it did before. Maybe I missed a piece? Bro, you know what, whatever. I guess I missed a piece. Maybe that's what it was the whole time. Oh, dude. That has to have been what it was. Because look, now it looks completely different. I think I missed a piece the first time. I love your previous Blender critique stream. When is the next one? What's today? Sunday? Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we can do one. Do I make a living off of this? I realize how big I am. Oh, like with the following and stuff. I don't make a full living off of this, but I do make like enough to like get a little bit of passive income with my products and things like that. So yeah, I would say like I'm pretty happy with like where I'm at with my like income with that stuff, but it's not anything like significant enough to support like a full-time income. But it's good money. It's good money. I mean, I can't really put a number on it because it changes pretty much every single time, like every year, every month, every week. It's every day is different really with this stuff. All right, let's see. I want to make a button that's kind of like repeatable here so we can kind of, yeah, let's see what we can do. Let's go ahead and apply our scale because we're going to put a bevel on this bad boy. This is a really small button, but let's see. 0.0001. Let's try 0.0005. Ah, that looks very lovely. I almost want to say 0.0003. It's really hard to see. There's a symbol on that? Oh, there's like a light. Is it a light symbol or power symbol? I can't really tell what that is. Well, we can come back to that. We can probably imprint that on there. But that looks good for now. And now there is a Boolean. Of course there's, because of course there's a Boolean. Well, I guess if If I wanted to do, I might actually just do the Boolean itself. Just do this. This is the button 1. All right, so that's button 1. Let's just duplicate this. We'll come back to the Booleans later. For this guy over here, we got 2 buttons in here, and we have an array. And we only have 2 of them, and I can just kind of, I think I might just move this out and just rotate the whole thing. I don't know, like something like that, maybe more. What do you guys think? I feel like that looks like decent. It's really hard to say like the exact, oh, I'm so stupid. I can literally check. Oh my gosh, bro. And congratulations, you are a moron. All right. Looks good. All right, so we're good there. We'll do the Booleans in a second. Let me just duplicate this button. It's a little bit bigger on the bottom side, so I'm gonna worry about here. Also, these guys don't come up that far. They probably come up, I don't know, like that much maybe. This guy needs to be bigger, so we'll go ahead and tab into edit mode. We'll scale that bad boy up. We will move it a little bit below the surface, and then we'll do an array. And we only need 1 for the array, so we'll reduce our count to 2. All right, let's see where we're at. All right, not too bad so far. Yeah, we can use texturing. Yeah. Yeah, I knew something. Suggestion, delete the whole... I can't tell if you're being serious, but I'm not doing that. Please be trolling, bro. Please be trolling. All right, let's go ahead and get a cube. Let's get a cube. Let's bring it up. Oh my gosh, bro is crazy if he thinks I'm about to redo that. You're crazy, buddy. You're crazy, because it's not gonna happen. All right, we got our cube. Good stuff. All right, now what I want to do, I'm just gonna use a little trick. You guys probably already know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tab into edit mode, select this, these sides here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to go back to my X-ray mode, go to face, extrude individual faces. If it's going to let me. Face, extrude individual faces. And it's really making me do this ridiculous thing with my mouse, but I'm doing it just to get this. All right, there we go. There's our cube. Good stuff. And then I think I'm just going to do like an intense bevel all the way around, but I want to get this like concave bevel first. So let me just do this. Let me select these guys in here. Shift clicking all these guys. And I'm going to go to my top down view, X-ray mode. I'm going to bevel these guys. Perfect. And then I guess I could bevel just all the outer edges on the top. It does look like we're going to need to press A, subdivide. I'm sorry, not A, subdivide. Bro, why can't I do anything right now? What is happening? Blender is not happy with me, bro. It's not letting me do anything. The heck's going on, bro? Oh, it's because I beveled it. Oh my gosh, bro. Every single time I bevel it, I need to do, like, I literally need to do something else, bro. It's so annoying. Also, I wonder if it's also because I was in, part of it was also, okay, that makes sense too. Subdivide this, subdivide, subdivide. This really isn't the way you're supposed to do it, but we're just going to do it this way just for right now. I'm going to select these faces here. My top down. This is not the way you're supposed to do it. I should not have done it this way. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, definitely do not do what I just did, because that was absolutely not the way to do it. Oh my god, I'm so mad at myself. I might have to redo this whole thing. Yeah, I might have to. I'm gonna. Oh my gosh, bro. I'm gonna redo the whole thing. Yeah, we're redoing the whole thing. I'm sorry, guys. I messed it up. I messed it up. I do not accept this result. And I am not going to do that to you guys. I'm going to make it better. Okay. What we're going to do instead is we are going to do a mirror modifier. But before we do that, let me do a... God, there's so many ways you could go about doing this. Like, really what I should have done is subdivided and then taken this edge here. Hold on. Taking this edge here and then pushed it out. My opinion, again, there's a million ways to do it. I should have done that first and then formed the rest. That was stupid. He said this. I know, it wasn't bad. There's, oh my God. It's funny because I could literally think of a million ways you could do. I literally just thought of another way you could do it. Bro, actually, I kind of like that way better. Hold on. I actually think I thought of the best way to do it. Okay, hold on. This is like there's, oh my God, there's so many ways to do things in Blender, bro. It's crazy. All right, ready for this, guys? I don't think you're ready for this. Now you take a plane, right? Bring it all the way down. So you have your plane right here. And then you take your plane. What you do is now you subdivide it, right? And I'm just going to try to center this to the best of my abilities. It's not going to be perfect. So you have your plane subdivided. You keep subdividing it, maybe like one more time. That's fine. And then I'm going to do a mirror modifier. So I'm actually going to delete this stuff on this half. And I'm going to delete this stuff on this half. This stuff here. I'm going to do mirror modifier here and here. Now, anything I do to this side will happen to the other side. And now all I have to do, I really shouldn't have, again, I shouldn't have done it like that, but whatever, is I am going to take these guys, delete that. Now I have a square, that's fine. Just bring this in. This out. No, what am I doing, bro? I'm tripping. Okay, there we go. So again, this is probably a stupid way to do it, but you could E and then S, or you could... No, bro, what am I doing, bro? How late is it, bro? What am I actually doing? This is I'm doing this in the stupidest way. I know I am. Yeah. Okay, I was like, I'm doing something stupid here. E1. That's fine. I know, I guarantee there's a better way to do this. You can say it. Go ahead. Just say it already. Oh my gosh. I'm a perfectionist. I'm really not. That's the funny part. There we go. Okay, so we have this. Perfect. I'm trying to, you kind of have to be though with a project like this, because with a project like this, you want it to be really good. All right. And the reason you want it to be really good is because there's a lot of details and you're going to be getting like close up macro shots and stuff like that. All right. This is really not the way to do it, but now we have this. Now we can take this and we can solidify it, give it some thickness, right? Still not done yet. I think we could bevel this as well. Yep. Shade it. Smooth. It's close. It's close. But I do think this needs to come down in the middle. See how there's like, I don't know if, can you guys see that or not? I don't know. There's kind of like this divot in the middle. It's going to be really hard to see. I feel like that kind of captures it a little bit. I guess I'm okay with that. I'm really not okay with that because I still think it needs to be even more round on the corners. So technically you could do this. You could apply this. You could apply this. You could apply this. And then you could bevel the corner. Oh, I see why it's not. I see why it doesn't want to bevel. Okay, so let me unapply all that stuff. It doesn't want to bevel because of the subdivision. That's why. So maybe I do one subdivision. Will it let me bevel more now? No, it won't. It does look a little bit better. You know what? I think that might be passable. Okay, again, I'm overthinking it. All right, let's cut these out with a Boolean. Me? A perfectionist? No. I'm really not. I'm really genuinely not a perfectionist. I'm trying to make something really, really good, and I want to be proud of what I'm making. I don't want this to be like crappy work, you know? I want to be like really proud. All right, so we have this. We'll do mirror. X and Y. Good. And then watch this. You ready for this? Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not going for perfect here. All right, there is our spread. Hoping this captures the Boolean well. Crap. Did I do it? Oh, I did do it. Okay, we're good. We're good. It needs to be float. I'm sorry, why are you... Did I do difference? I did do difference. What's going on here? It's not capturing it the way I want it to. Object, apply scale. You know what? I'll convert it to a mesh. I'll shade it smooth. Let me try... Bro, what the heck? Why is it... I mean, it doesn't matter, but it... Bro, what? Oh, I think I know why. It has to do with... I think it has to do with the topology. Or is it because there's one more subdivision? Wait, bro, what is happening? Blender just froze. Oh my gosh, bro. What is going on, bro? Why is it not accepting the cylinders? Just regular cylinders. Going through a regular mesh. I don't get the problem here. I guess we can always come back to that. All right, that's looking good. We have our buttons. Ooh, little challenge here. The select and start. Oh, that'll be interesting. Let's come back to that. I want to get this going on here. This is the, what is it called? The lights, I guess. I did save. I did. All right, let's come back. Oh my gosh, bro. Okay, I have an idea. I'm just gonna cut in. I'm gonna cut into the darn thing. It's weird. It's not accepting cuts the way that I want it to, and I don't know. I don't know why. Poor K. All right, let's see if this works. Another Boolean. This time I'll do these guys. All right, that's fine. That works for what I'm doing. Okay, I think we're good. All right, now for these lights, I want to say they just have a nice little bevel right here. I think, like something like that maybe, that kind of matches that bevel roughly. And then we can kind of come back to those little details. Thoughts? I think that looks good. All right, I'm pretty happy with that little detail. All right, that looks good. I feel like the next step, we got that. Okay, the next step will be the thing that I've been ignoring this whole time. Oh, also I need to unhide the part on the bottom, which is not that, but this. Well, this will be interesting. Oh, why is... Oh, that looks not correct. We're going to have to figure that one out. I should have beveled it more on the edge. Bro. It's all good. It's just a 3D model. It's just a 3D model. It's all good, ladies and gentlemen. All right, it is time to do the bottom side of this. How many subdivs does this have, too? 3? I did 3. Why did I do 3? This did look better with 3. All right, for the bottom side, we'll come back to this top part, but we did need to unhide the bottom side. All right, now that we have the bottom side, this will be interesting. Oof. I'm tempted to inset this. We're going to have to definitely cut into this, like, in some capacity. Let me just see something. I think I can actually take this bottom loop. This is going to be a dangerous game. ES and extrude it in a little bit. Before doing that, let me get one more loop cut here. Take the bottom one, ES. Yeah, because I just want to get that very small lip in there. I feel like that looks pretty decent. All right, how's that look, guys? So far, so good. Awesome. We'll cut a boolean in for the switch on the side, but for this front part, I am thinking, might have to estimate this one a little bit. Shoot. I feel like it starts kind of like right there, roughly. I don't know if it's going to be as simple as... Can I grid fill this? Will this grid fill? Kind of. Because I don't know. I wonder if you can just like move this up. But I would probably need to subdivide this guy. I'm probably way overthinking this. Hold on. If I push up, I guess I technically could subdivide that and then delete certain parts of it. Yeah, hold on. Another subdivision there. Okay, and then I think I might just be able to get away with deleting this face, deleting this face. We'll come back to that weird like issue with the subdivision. And then if I take, actually, maybe, can I just extrude this inward on the Y? And then just crease it? Still gonna subdivide it in a weird way. But I think that's like the general approach. Hold on, let me come back. Let me take these two. Try to see what this would look like. Yeah, that might be the approach there. Something more like that might be the approach. And then like putting a crease on the other areas. Okay, let's do this. Let's take these guys. I want to say it comes back a certain amount. This is, guys, you're going to laugh at the way I'm doing this, but I actually think this might be the best way to do it. I know, you're probably going to laugh, but I actually think this might be, it might be the move. I'm going to see what it looks like once I get the crease in there. But the thing is, you can't really see the inside, and I don't think I'm going to show that side, so I might be able to get away with like something really simple here. Oof. Maybe not. Maybe we won't be able to get away with that. Blender said, nah, you're not going to get away with that, buddy. Oof. Or is it because I don't have this guy creased either? I think I'm literally getting confused by my own lines. Hold on. All right, let's just do this. Let's do this the absolutely most difficult way we possibly can and just cut into it with a boolean perhaps. Or we could duplicate, hold on, we could mirror modifier and then extrude in. Bro said, did you save? I did save. I'm so overthinking this, like a ridiculous amount. I hate that I'm getting that subdivision. You know, would be really cool. You know what I just realized would be really cool is if they had the ability to subdivide only certain selections. I think a lot of people would like that, and a lot of people would definitely use that. Especially for like a weird situation like this where I'm like getting progressively more frustrated. I'm just waiting to look at the chat and someone's like, why aren't you doing it like this, bro? Oh, what's the idea for the... Oh, we didn't talk about the add-on. I'm sorry. We just did modeling just because everyone voted for it. But the thing is, if you have an idea for an add-on, drop it in the chat. Might check it out. This is a fun one, though. I do enjoy stuff like this, but there's some times where I think I get into a mode where I'm like, oh my god, like I hate Blender right now, because it just becomes increasingly frustrated to try to do the thing that I'm trying to do. And look, I get it. I need to practice modeling. I'm not going to sit here and deny that, but at the same time, like, you just cannot be good at every single little thing in Blender. And I think it's just the community can be a cross between toxic and helpful. Like, there's no, like, I feel like there's kind of an in between, but there's really not. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, like, you're gonna get like a little bit criticized for it. So that can be kind of annoying sometimes, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to do my best, right? All right, let's do this. Let's take this, because we're going to use a Boolean for this anyway. I'm going to select these guys. I'm going to tab edit mode, object, apply scale. I'm just going to give these a little bevel. I'm not going to do this extra detail. I'm just going to do like, yeah, something like that would be perfect. And then I'm just going to cut right into this thing, like kind of like how I already am a little bit. Now, the Boolean's going to need to work. I hope the Boolean actually works. Oh my god. Yet another Boolean on this thing. Oh my god. Right when you thought there couldn't be any more. Perfect. It worked on the top side. But will it work on the bottom side? Let's find out on this episode of How Frustrated Can Blender Make Us? Okay, it worked. Awesome. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. It does look like it could probably have some adjustment with the scale, so maybe I'll take it and adjust it just a little bit. Crap. That's perfect. I think that's perfect. Oh my god, there's another there's another like Boolean in there. Crap. Go back to the way you had it. Give it the curves on the sides that you need, then put another cube for the cartridge. Blender is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I'm so grateful for it. Couldn't agree more, my friend. Couldn't agree more. All right, now, on that note of sliced bread, let's do this. Let's slice some bread, bro. Okay, so we have it here. Now, I think if I scale this down, well, we're going to do two things. We're going to grab one of these for the second part of the Boolean, which is going to be basically, let me just real quick turn this to random colors. So the second part of the Boolean is going to be kind of sitting right in the middle here, right on the cusp of the basically right there, which is really a weird thing. So I think for this one, we only needed to cut into the bottom part, which is actually kind of nice. So I think for this one, let's do this. Boolean, we'll go ahead and select this object, and we're good to go. And then we move this guy into play. Boom, right? Scale him down, scale him across, move him across. Now this guy's a little different because he's going to be just about as tall as this thing, but not quite as wide as this thing. So something like that might work. Something like that might be perfect. And then I want to move this out so it's kind of barely on the edge there. Perfect. Again, trying to place this as accurately as possible. All right, now for the middle, like this inset piece right here, I think what I'll do is I'll just tab into edit mode, subdivide. Maybe one more time. Okay, yeah, subdivide one more time. I'm going to take these middle pieces here. Oh, it's not even. Crap. Actually, it's even now. But actually, well, actually, let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can do this. It'll be like this, and then press A, S, Y, G, Y. Does that look correct? It does, but it also doesn't. Debatable. Let's bevel it. And I'm going to shade that smooth, and I'm going to be done with that piece because I don't care about it no more. Although there is this little divot in the middle. Do we do the divot? I feel like you kind of have. I feel like you kind of have to do the divot. So let me do this. Loop cut here. Loop cut there. Comes kind of slight. Kind of need a loop cut here. All right, for the divot, I think it would be one, two, three. This is tough. Did I do it? All right, it's not bad. I can't even tell if that's correct. And we need some text down here off and on. So let's get some text. Off. How do you do the dot? How do you do that dot? Anybody know? Is it even possible? I'll just make it a cylinder. All right, scale this down, way down. RX90, RZ90. Flip it this way. Bro, where is this text? Here it is. Okay, now we'll give it some geometry. A little bit of depth there. Oopsies, wrong way. Extrusion. Just need I need a small cylinder for each one of those. It's crazy how many little details there are though. We need an add-on that can mark seams so you don't have to go through the whole model making seams. Is that possible? Sounds like there's already one that might exist, actually. Is that true? All right, let me see. Oh, man. I'm thinking... I don't really feel like adding this. You know what? Darn it, I'll add the dots. Oh my gosh. Fine, guys. I'll add the darn dots. I'm just going to go ahead and rotate these guys up like that. I need to get rid of the bevel. Thoughts? Okay, I think we're good so far. Got that detail, got all that crap. I'm really just ignoring this piece here for a minute. Kind of like have to do it, bro. Although, I wonder if I could do this. It kind of helps a little bit. Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot, bro. I could have done that. Oh, I could have done that the whole time, bro. That's fine. I'm gonna accept that. And then you know what? We're gonna make this stupid cartridge. Sorry, not stupid. It's not stupid. But I was frustrated with that earlier. You guys, as you guys probably remember. So now that we're good. Oh my gosh, bro. You guys remember how frustrated I was with that stupid cartridge though? Oh my gosh. All right, let's do this. Okay, so I think for these two edges, because I don't even know what's on the other side of this, so it's fine. We just go to object, apply scale, so we can get a nice even bevel here. Shade that smooth, and it looks like it splits and then it comes down to like another thing. So I might do this. I'm not really sure what's happening at the bottom here. Ooh, get rid of that. Oh God, there's like I've seen these. I've had this thing before, but I haven't modeled this ever. So I'm gonna just think about it first. Really, I guess you could. Oh, there's so many things you could do here. It's really not letting me. It's fine. We'll just come back to it. All right, because I really want to get onto the other parts of it, because there's a part that I'm ignoring, which is this part right here. Although we might be in luck, because it looks like part of this is like detached, which is kind of nice. But then this part doesn't look detached. Maybe we'll be able to get away with making it kind of like look like it's attached. I think I'm just gonna kind of make it look like it's attached for right now, and then we'll come back to maybe like quote unquote attaching it, if you will. All right, let's go ahead and flip this bad boy. Wow, look how I'm too good. I didn't even look at the reference and I scaled it perfectly. Ladies and gentlemen, you are dealing with the OG. All right, so what I'm thinking is you take both of these guys, extrude it downwards. All right, now let's see here. First of all, let's shade this bad boy smooth. There's multiple parts that have this like same thing. So I guess I can just mock up those parts. So this part right here goes here. All right, we are gonna have to fill those edges. It's always a fun one. Shoot, did not mean to do that. Don't select them all at once. It'd be kind of a nice feature if you could fill them individually. All right, let's see here. Ah, beautiful. We'll come back to like why it looks weird at the end, but I'm pretty like happy with it so far. You ready for this next thing? This is gonna blow your mind. Shift D. Okay. So this is the part where it's like, okay, do we design the flat part next and then flip it up and like rig it up to this thing? Because this is where I feel like this is where things start to become like really weird, really real in the model. I'm looking at this real quick, so don't mind me, guys. I'm just trying to think about like what I'm gonna do here. Okay. All right. I think I got it. I actually wonder, part of me wonders if it's a similar size. I guess I could like duplicate this whole thing, but I can't because I already did all this weird stuff to it. All right, let's just do this. We'll add a, let's add a cube. All right, I kind of like have to make this cube like, I have to make, yeah, I'm gonna have to just make this work. This really technically should be the same size as, this part here. So it should be like about that size. Let's see if they have it right in the picture. All right, they have it relatively right in the picture. Perfect. All right, that should work. All right, so this will eventually fold like this. These guys will meet up with it like this. And it'll kind of move in like this a little bit. Up. It'll be slightly higher than that and slightly out like that, because there's a piece that goes in between. Okay, I feel like we got the general idea of like where this stuff is going to be. I think in the original that's how it's supposed to look. All right, we're about to find out because we have some really good references here. So I'm kind of excited to jump into this one. I think what I'll do here first is I'll select our edges here. This one actually is symmetrical, so we might be able to get away with one of these guys here. Feel me? Just gonna delete these other guys here. Give it the old mirror modifier treatment. Beautiful. So now what we can do is we can take just this guy here and here. Give it the old-fashioned bevel. Crap. I'm going to go back. I'm going to unbevel that because I'm not happy with where the placement is of the edge. Now we can take these and now we can bevel them properly. Actually, object apply, scale always, then you bevel. Not perfect, but it works. I don't know why it might just be the image and the alignment. That's fine. All right, that looks good. We want to merge the centers here. So let me just go ahead and do clipping, merge these centers. That looks good. Everything's looking good so far, and I think the next step is we'll come back for these weird circle things. I'll probably just use a simple inset with, or not inset, a boolean within like some cylinders. But for the screen, I think this is gonna be pretty simple. I think we're gonna be able to like inset this whole face. It's gonna let me. There we go. I don't know how it's gonna work with the mirror modifier, so I'll just try my best here. Let's see what this looks like. Inset that again. Why am I getting such a weird result? Hold up. Bro, what the heck is going on right now? Okay, that's better. All right, there it is. All right, that looks great. Let me test to see where it is. Beautiful. I'm happy with that. Okay, that looks good. The inside is going to be its own like thing. Like the screen part will probably be its own little thing. And then let's do, yeah, okay, we're almost, like, we're getting close to the end here, I think. Oh, also, this whole thing should have a bevel. And we'll do 0.00, let's do 0.0005. With a few, very, 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 honestly, it would be even smaller than that. Yep, very, very small bevel. Nice, it's already looking so much better. All right, shading it auto smooth now. Good, looks good. And then what I want to do, getting a weird line there, we'll fix that. What I want to do is get this little wraparound part here, which is going to be like, I want to say right about there. This is going to be some intricate work, so bear with me. Here it is. All right. If you put your scale to 1, you'll have a perfect bevel to apply transformations. I completely lost my train of thought. What was I doing? Oh, that's right. I was going to take these, extrude. Oh, no, that's what I was going to do. Okay, I think I got it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert these all to meshes. I'm going to take this, join them, and then I'll do a Boolean. Beautiful. Now what I'll do is I'll add a very, very small bevel to these. I'm also going to click on these and do object apply scale. And then I'm going to take this bevel. I'm going to make it super, super small. Like almost indistinguishably small. Perfect. I am going to give this the same bevel. What was that? 0.0003. With how many segments? 5. I know what you're thinking. Why can't I just copy the modifiers? Because that one doesn't have a mirror modifier. Otherwise, I would have. And we'll shade everything auto smooth. Looking good, looking good. Bring these down. Now, there's only one thing, though, that I have to do that I haven't done yet. These all need to be at the same level, first of all, which they're not. So this needs to be up. And then what I also want to do is I want to make sure that they're scaled a little bit smaller than the actual holes that they're going into. Okay. Honestly, like, yeah. Perfect. Same concept here. These guys go down. A little bit smaller. Perfect. Tab. Scale. Move down. That looks good. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I think it's like almost done. I am missing like a few more key details though. Add-on was undecided for now, yeah. Hey, I made it to the second stream of the day. I'm learning how to make an armature right now. Nice. That's sick. Dude, that's I gotta learn how to do that stuff. See, like there's so much to learn in Blender, man. For me. Want these to line up properly. Beautiful. Looking good. Okay, now that we have everything lined up, there's a few more really small like details that we need to take care of. First of all, let me just go ahead and grab this thing. This is going to be the side, like this little piece on the side here. I don't know like how to center it or what, but I think it like sits like right there. This doesn't need a bevel, but this needs a Boolean. There really should be one on the other side, so beautiful. This needs a mirror on the X, and we'll use this. Okay, everything's looking pretty good. There's a lot of details that go into this that have been kind of annoying. There's still like some other stuff like I probably could do. The other thing I actually do need to do is, funny enough, I need to take this edge loop. I need to take this and, okay, this is gonna be interesting. I need to like extrude it out on the Y. Need to scale it in a little bit and then like extrude it again, kind of like that. But then I almost need to like, I don't know if I did that correctly. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. Yep, that looks closer to what it looks like over there. Same thing here. Again, extruding it on the Y, scaling it in a little bit, and then extruding again. Not terrible. Not terrible. There's always room for improvement, and I definitely think, yeah, actually, like looking at this, like I'm already realizing like what that room for improvement is, but like I'm pretty happy with like how this turned out for like just being kind of like, let's just go for it type of thing. All right, there's a little bit of cleanup I need to do now. And what I mean by that is I need to like go into my hierarchy and actually like organize things. So let me go ahead and go to my outliner here. I'm going to hide this. I am going to go to my top-down view. I'm going to select this entire bottom half, including these. I'm going to do M, new collection. This is going to be bottom half. Okay. And then this top part is going to be, oh crap, did I get the right one? Yeah, I did. This is going to be top half. Okay, now there's still some leftover pieces. Most likely these are all like Boolean objects. So I'm going to double check and see what they are. This one is unneeded. This was for the size of the cube. This was also unneeded, I think. We'll find out if something goes missing. This was what? That was nothing. That was just one single vertice. This is a Boolean for the bottom, so I'll put it in the bottom half. This was a Boolean for the bottom, so I'll put it in the bottom half and hide it from render. You guys see what I'm doing here? I'm just kind of organizing real quick because we're going to make this top piece move. This was also for the bottom half, so I'll throw it in there. This one, I don't even know where this piece is. Where is this? Oh, there it is. Oh, this was for sizing up the controller pieces. This was the Boolean for the bottom half. And then this was for the top half. I'm almost done. This was for the bottom half. This is the top or bottom half. And then this is the reference. Okay, awesome. So if I select everything in my top half, select objects. Let me move them. We're good, except for we're missing one thing, and that's this piece right here. So here's what I will do. And you guys, I think you guys will appreciate this. I'm going to add an empty plane axis. All right, I'm going to scale it way, way, way down. I'm going to move it right here to like where this hinges, like relatively. It doesn't have to be anything perfect. If you wanted it to be, you could like snap to the origin, things like that. So really, when we rotate this, I want to be able to rotate this entire like assembly. So I'm going to shift click everything, control P to parent. Now, it should work. Let's see. When I rotate it, it'll work. However, it's not rotating on the correct axis. Now when we rotate it, boom, good to go. And you're probably wondering, well, these shouldn't stick out. You're right, they shouldn't. Boom, they're hidden. Anything that's hidden, we're hiding it from render. And now we should be rocking and rolling. Now we can kind of like position this thing how we want it. Now it's time to actually go in and add our materials and see what we can make this thing look like. Let's go ahead and go to our shader editor. Let's select everything, go to view frame selected, and let's start to actually add some stuff to our scene. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and switch over to cycles and GPU. I'm going to switch over to an HDRI because I just think we can get some really quick lighting on our scene here. That's fine. It doesn't really matter what we have so far, just because I really want to get like a camera set up on this. I want to have like a scene for this. I'm kind of excited to just like see what this thing is going to end up looking like. So I'm going to go ahead and place my face on the top left, and I'm going to place the image that I'm going for on the bottom, which is going to be this guy. Now, we can make it any material we want. We'll come back to like the coloring and things like that. But for right now, I'm just kind of going to go with like the basics. Like for this whole thing, it's going to have this kind of like metallic look to it. So I'm going to kind of give it this metallic color. And I'm going to go ahead and copy that metallic cover over to every single thing that should have it. So I'm going to link those materials. I'm also going to make this blue so I can clearly see what's colored and what's not. Okay, perfect. These pieces should not be showing, so I'm going to hide those. This, believe it or not, does have that same material. Awesome. Actually going to just try to match this just so I can kind of see what I'm doing here. Awesome. Cool. And I'm going to go ahead and enable my film transparency just for right now so we can kind of like really focus on what is this thing going to look like. All right, for our buttons, these are going to be some kind of gray. Just simply nab that color there. We'll go ahead and select all of the buttons. We'll go ahead and Control L, link materials. Same concept here. This right here should be the same material as this. And then this should be the same material as the blue. Beautiful. All right, and then last but not least, we have our black cartridge. So I'll just go ahead and snag that color. We'll give it like a higher roughness, but like somewhat metallic. We can always come back to that. Oh, and then I missed these pieces. They're almost like a blue. I can't really tell exactly what they are. Let's see, I'll just go ahead and snag that color. It's fine. These will have the same color as these. Awesome. I know these are like really, really subtle changes. And then, of course, the screen. We're going to need to make that black, so that'll be the next step. Let me just see. What do we have for these guys? These guys are going to look kind of like almost like a glassy material. So I'm going to just raise the transmission value. Roughness can stay. That's fine. Everything's looking good. I'm pretty happy with where we're at. I'm just double checking, making sure their materials are looking okay. All right, now for this material right here, I do want to go into specular, raise that anisotropy value just a little bit, give it some of that weird like metallic kind of like weird shading. And we're gonna give this like some surface texture as well, but I wanna go ahead and go into this material because this middle face is gonna have a different material for the screen. So let's go ahead and click on that. Let's go to our material properties. I'll open up a new material and assign it, and then I'll just simply make this, I don't know, like a reflective black material, maybe like a darker color with a lower roughness. Something like that should be okay. Now, if you wanted to have like this whole inset thing in the logo, we could get that too, but I'll probably come back to that in just a moment, just because I kind of want to focus on lighting and setting up my scene, getting some nice depth of field on here. All right, so far everything's looking great. Let me give it a quick save. Let's go ahead and tab into edit mode. Let's bring this up. All right, we got a nice little plane going on in the background here. I'm gonna go ahead and extrude this up for like a nice little studio backdrop. Give it the whole bevel treatment here. Tab into edit mode, scale it. Maybe scale it a little bit more. Now, one of the things I really like to do is set up my depth of field. So let's set up our camera first. We're gonna go ahead and scale this like crazy because, well, it's gonna be really big in our scene. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and go to my side view here, raise my camera up. I'm gonna go ahead and it's kind of a cool angle. It's not really the angle I was looking for. Just kind of want to see what this is going to look like, though. It's kind of a sick angle, actually. I might go for it. I don't know. Now, for the background, I'm probably just going to do like a simple, maybe like darker blue. I may even be tempted to make this thing hover. But let's go ahead and switch off my add-on that I have enabled. Let's go to my camera settings. I'll go to my viewport display and raise our pass part out, which is our like amount we can see behind everything. And this is the moment of truth. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my depth of field, and we're still working on this, right? So keep that in mind. All right, depth of field's enabled. Let's go ahead and reduce the amount that we're zoomed in here. Clean. Right now, f-stop, we could do something like F12 maybe. Better. Now we get some slight depth of field, right? A little bit more realistic, maybe F8 even. I mean, we're getting that slight depth of field. This looks really cool. I'd be curious to kind of see like how we can format these buttons to look a little bit more, I don't know, like glossy, if you will. I feel like they're supposed to look more glossy, so let's make that happen. Let's take them, let's go to our coat. Let's raise this up a little bit glossier, lower that roughness a little bit. Looks good. All right, another thing I want to do is I want to lower my HDRI strength to like 0.3. I want to add an area light, move it up, scale it way, way, way down. And I want to move it off to the side here. Get some nice directional lighting here. It's a little bit intense, so I'm going to reduce the power to 2. I'm going to reduce the strength, which is the power, and I'm going to reduce the spread as well. Exposure is pretty high. This looks pretty cool. I'm kind of going for this like side light, if you will, kind of like catching it on the side there. Game Boy Advance SP, we're not sponsored or anything like that, but I'm going to kind of keep going with it. I actually don't mind the angle. Like the angle kind of tricked me, and I actually kind of like it. Kind of go for like, I'm almost tempted to go for something kind of like this. Looks kind of cool. All right, let's get the Game Boy logo on there. Let me also zoom in a little bit more. Hold on, actually, I kind of like the angle we originally had. That was pretty good. This thing's looking kind of sick, I'm not gonna lie. I think the next step is to get the Game Boy logo on there. So let me get the Game Boy SP logo. Game Boy Advance SP. Okay, just want to make sure I got the right one. Check it out. Save it. You guys ready for this? I don't think you're ready. Get rid of the whites. This is perfect. All right, so we got our image. Check it out. We're going to do this. We're going to do add image mesh plane. We'll go to our downloads, find the image. There it is. Scale it way, way, way down. Bring it up. Bring it kind of into position roughly. All right, so it's sitting. Okay, so it's sitting on the frame. Now, one thing I probably should do is rotate this back and place it, and then we'll rotate that back up. What was it, 52.7? All right. Let me do this. Bring it up here. We're going to kind of roughly place it first, and then we'll remove the background. I want to parent it to this. Good. So let me see if that worked. Yeah, it did. All right, then what do we have this at? 52. I think it was like 52. All right, now let's snap back to the camera. Let's click on Game Boy Advance. So now what we're going to need is we're going to need to cut this background out. So let's go into our shader editor and let's do that. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think it looks good too. I think it's coming along. So we're going to do a mix shader, and we're going to mix it with a transparent shader. This is a trick I like to use a lot in Blender. But then what we're going to do is we're going to crunch this color ramp with our factor. And I just need to figure out basically which part I want to get rid of. Now, I think I can target this color directly. So let's see if we can do this. I'll be able to do it here. It's really not wanting to let me do it. It really doesn't want to let me do it. All right, in this case, if it's not going to let me do it, I'll just cut it out in Photopea. It's fine. We'll just give it a quick treatment here. Go to File, Save, or do, where is it? Export as PNG. Perfect. Save it. Boom. And then we're going to swap it out here. And there it is. Beautiful. Now, there is a couple things missing. We're going to need to, well, first of all, we need to get back to this. We need to integrate this into the actual screen, and we need the screen to be like inset so you can see the part of the screen that we're kind of going for. I also noticed this should probably be down a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, we're going to need to do that. And you know what I just realized? I didn't cut holes, did I, for any of that stuff? I don't think I did. That's one thing I was missing. That was a key detail that I did not do. That was my fault. Hold that thought. I think I'm going to do... There we go. Beautiful. Back to shading. All right, so it looks like this piece here, this face actually is inset even a little bit more. Oh my gosh, bro. Why, bro? Or can I do face grid fill? Why can I not just have this be normal, bro? Oh, I know what to do. I'm going to add, or I'm going to, oh, it's so annoying, dude. It's because I did a weird, I know why. I know why it is. Yep, that's exactly why. I have an idea, hold on. God, it's such a pain. I think I might just add a fake thing underneath of it that shows, yeah, I have an idea. Hold on. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to try it. Okay, I think that's good. Bring it right here, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the other side transparent, and I'm going to make this have a weird, like, inset. So I'm going to go like this. Inset, right? And then I'll make this piece the whole thing. And I'll just bring these pieces up. This here. And then I will bevel the corners. Hold up. Bevel the vertices. Perfect. All right, now what I'll do is this inside material will have a different thing than the other one. I don't know if I'm probably not making any sense right now because it's late, but I hope this makes sense to the people that are paying attention. Okay. So one side will have new material sign. This will be pink. The other one, I'm just going to select inverse. And then this one will have a completely new material. And this one will be, I don't know, that black. Yeah, there we go. And now obviously it's not really going to look like that because it's going to be transparent, because this piece will actually either have no alpha. Yeah, that's it. Now this piece can come back here and we can take that. Beautiful. Now we just take this piece back and we are good to go. And we launch this back to 52. But first we have to parent this guy. Beautiful and beautiful. I think I got it. I think we're golden. Yep, there it is. Beautiful. I'm blendered out. See you, my guy. Yep, no problem. I'll see you later, brother. This is looking really good. There's some other like little details and stuff that I think we can add, but like so far, man, I'm digging this. This is a vibe. I think with the Game Boy, I'm thinking like, is there anything cool we could add around the scene to kind of create some like atmosphere or anything like that? And I think we could add some cool particles. So let's try it. Let's add a cube in here. I'm just gonna have the cube kind of just cover like a majority of the scene, like this. Yeah, something like that I think would be perfect. Beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new geometry node set up this, and I'm going to do mesh to volume, and then I'm going to do distribute points in volume, right? Do instance on points. And then I think I'll do like, I don't know, maybe like just a UV sphere with like a really small radius. See if that worked. There we go. Now we can adjust the density. Beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted. So the reason I want to do this is because I want to kind of create this like interesting thing where there's like spheres everywhere. It's weird that they're already looking kind of random. They shouldn't look. Oh no, they're not random. All right, now we're going to do scale instances. You guys know the drill. We're going to go ahead and do random value. Beautiful. And shade smooth. We also have to set their material. The material, I'll just set it to that nice, like, that nice color we had earlier, which is the, what is that color? That's like the color of the actual Game Boy itself. All right, now come back here. Let's increase the density to 1500. And then I think overall the size could probably be smaller. Let's see what that looks like. Interesting. Not quite what I was going for. Should they be cubes? Could they be cubes? Cubes with a bevel? That could be pretty cool, huh? Let's try cubes with like some rotation. Again, what was that value? That was, I think it was 0.01. And then let's give this guy a small little bevel. Mesh bevel value is going to be right here. We'll plug that in here, and here, and here, and here. Beautiful. Give him some random rotation as well. Better. I like this better. I don't know. It's kind of fun. Like it creates like a little bit of a fun atmosphere. Obviously, like you got to kind of go to your camera here. It's gonna let me select my camera. There we go. Go to your camera here. Adjust your depth of field if you need to. You know what I mean? Like this is just like an idea. Like I'm just kind of messing around. But hello there. Where do you learn geometry nodes? Because I see it a lot and I don't understand them. That's a great question. I would say if you're really looking to learn like more about Blender, I can't really suggest this course enough. That is going to be our core fundamentals of Blender. Let me go ahead and pop that in the chat here. I actually was part of this course. I did the physics part of it. I don't really do geometry nodes as much as these other guys do that are going to teach you. They're the real experts. I'm decent, but this is, yeah, you really want to learn from these guys. They're incredible. All right, now there's something really cool that I think we can do here. I think we can actually, what if we use this little plus sign thing? What is this one called? This is called plane. Of course it's called plane. Why did I call it plane? All right, what if we use that instead of the cubes? I'm just curious. Just drag that in here. All right. Let's scale it down. Oh, bro. Insane. Kind of cool though. Honestly, it's kind of a vibe. I don't know. I mean, it gives you an idea of like that we're able to like really create something cool with geometry nodes or just really like anything that we want to. Overall though, I think this thing's looking really cool. You really can just decide what it is that you want to instance. Obviously, you don't have to instance that thing. You can instance your cube if you'd like to, right? It's totally up to you guys. Why did the cube disappear? There it is. I was wondering what I did wrong. I was like, oh my gosh, I messed it all up, bro. One thing a lot of people like want to do, and I'll just show you how to do it now because I'm like, okay, we're in it. You can plug in a sphere, right? Show you guys something cool. And you can make these little dust particles. You can actually kind of see it right now. You can make little particles of dust, which kind of like add to the render a little bit. And it kind of just makes it look really cool, right? Another thing we can do is we can actually use our asset library, which is right here, our asset browser, and we can find a really nice material for our floor. Let's see what they have. They might have some really nice ones. Oh, they got like cobblestone, they have brick, brushed metal. Whew, that looks clean. Let's try, they have knitted fabric, bro, they have so much. Old tiles. See, this could look really cool, and then you could take this, right? You could scale it up so that the tiles are like this. Dude, legit. Try this guy. Oh my gosh, bro. Wooden plywood. Now, obviously, the background's going to look a little strange. So if you really want to, you can kind of take the background. You can delete these things here. Bring this guy out. Yeah, there we go. So like, wow, that actually, see, like that material looks really good actually. Let me try some other ones. See what terracotta looks like. Checkerboard. This reminds me of like Mario. Insane, bro. Insane. Let's see what this one looks like. Unlock this. Who created these materials, bro? This is insane. It's insane that people like are this good at procedural materials. I'm just kind of unpacking all these materials to see what they can do. See what this knitted fabric is all about. It's weird. It's not. It's getting distorted in a weird way. I don't know why, but it's like it's not inheriting. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me bring this up. There we go. Now it's inheriting it okay, now it's inheriting these properties correctly. All right, so now you could like come in here and really like scale this down. Dude, this is insane. I love these materials. Let me see what paper would look like. Okay. Paper is a tough texture to get right. Ooh, carbon fiber, bro. Clean, bro. Wow, why is that so clean? Bruh. Unreal. It's looking really good. I actually want to go in here to color management. Switch this over to filmic with medium high contrast. She's looking gorgeous. Oh my god, bro. Oh, you know what I wonder? What would our Game Boy look like in carbon fiber? Oh, god. Oh. Looks bad because of the topology, but how sick is that? Get some concrete on here real quick. Oh my gosh, bro. What in the world? Insane. Oh, dude, you can do clay on this. Oh, I kind of want to see what this will look like in a brushed metal. Fabric knitted. Plush, bro. Plush Game Boy. The topology has to be really good for this to work nicely, so I'm going to go ahead and do myself a favor and switch back to... Where's the material I had? Go ahead and switch back to our OG material. There we go. That's a little bit better. What were some of the other colors for our Game Boy? What was like the OG color for the Game Boy? Red, bro. Red? Oh my gosh. Oh my god, bro. Tough. Tough as nails, bro. Oh my goodness. Down the Blender rabbit hole. As a Houdini user, I'm really impressed with geometry nodes and can't wait to learn more. Oh, you use Houdini? That's sick, bro. Is Houdini hard? I've heard it's got quite the learning curve to it. Yeah, I've heard some things, but I've heard good and bad things. Like I've heard that it's got a very, very steep learning curve. Whoa, dude, look at that edge wear. Insane, bro. Wow. That is cool, man. So sick. I've heard good things though. I've heard mainly good things about it. So go back to red. Yes, bro. Back to red, man. Back to red. I love looking at these materials. I don't know why. It's just like I'm having like so much fun just dropping these materials in, bro. Dude. What? I don't even remember what I... Guys, what did I have in the first place on there? Because I genuinely don't remember. Yeah, no, I don't remember. I don't remember at all. Ooh, clean, bro. I feel like I never had galvanized on here. It looks cool, though. I get the vibe. I get the vibe of galvanized. I do. I have an idea. Yep. Let's move this back. Hold up. There we go. Perfect. See this? See, we're getting this rim line here. This is what I was looking for. I kind of want to, like... I don't want it to be, like, too intense. Dude, it's crazy. Like, it's insane how you can change the lighting, like, this quick, honestly. And, like, how much of a difference this can, like, make or break your scene. Like... Yeah, so here's what's interesting about this. Now, look, see, like, we're getting, like, more, like, I feel like we're getting more, like, depth with the model itself. And then, see, it's crazy. I haven't even... There's still, like, more I can do, obviously, but, like, I haven't even gotten to really add the true details that I wanted to add. These should be red, I think. These are supposed to be red. Yeah, that looks better. I was going to say something looked off. Something looked off, right? I mean, it looks sick, right? I think it's looking really clean. What do you guys think? Be honest. Copernicus? I'm going to have to check that out. Bro, I'm happy with this. I think overall, I would say I'm gonna call it a day on this one, guys. I think we did a great job. I'm ready to go to bed. It's 11:20 p.m. where I'm at. I think we did a great job making this, and I really enjoyed, like, the lighting part of it. There's really one more thing I want to do with geometry nodes, and that is come in here, make these a little bit bigger. There we go. Because then they become, like, less particles and more, like, kind of like part of the scene. But you gotta be careful, though, because it can get weird really fast, right? Like, there's one more thing I want to do. I'm sorry. I lied. There's one more thing I want to do. I hope you guys don't mind. I want to add a cylinder. Yep. Check it out, though. Watch this. Watch this. How many do I want? That looks good. Okay. Check it out. We're going to scatter these on the floor here. Haha, I said I was done. I lied. Beautiful. And I want this guy to be right here. This guy in here. Instance on points. Boom. We want this instance, and then we want to scale it with a value. Beautiful. And then, of course, as you guys know, we're going to scale those instances. The random value. Increase the density. Just want to see what this looks like so far. Yep, this is exactly what I wanted, but I don't want it to hit this, so we're going to have to move this thing around a little bit until they're not hitting. That's good. What I wanted to do is give this the same material as the floor, which is called metal rough. Okay. Set material, metal rough. That one. Cool. All right, now a couple more things though, because I need to go back to the cylinder. Yeah, bro. How sick. And then one of the things you can do, but you don't have to, you could do like a layer, or not layer weight, weight painting with this, but that's a whole nother thing. Can you help with telling more about proportional editing? Just some details before going? Yeah, I will. Absolutely. Gotta be careful though, because look, this thing's gonna run into it. Place it perfectly so there's no run-ins here. It's just like it just like adds a little something. And then you can come back here one more time. You can take your cylinder, and what I'm gonna do is tab into edit mode. I'm gonna go to my vertices select. There we go, X-ray mode, vertices select. Check it. Go back here, right? Now, they're all slanted weird, right? Watch this, ready? Rotate instances by a random value, but I only want to rotate them on the Z. Now they're all randomly rotated. Gives you even more variation in your scene. Now, you don't have to do this, and if you don't like it, you know, I don't like it. So, like, I think I might decide to, like, nix this and do something completely different. In fact, I can make this any object that I want to. If I want to go with, like, a cube or something, I can do that. I can delete everything. I can go with a cube. I can scale it way down. I can bring it up. I can make these things towers. I could give them some crazy thing on the top. Like, I could inset them. Bring them in, right? I could have like this crazy looking thing. Whatever the heck that is, right? I'm just giving you an example. I could go here, here. I could inset this, push it in. Right now I have this like really weird like thing going on. Or I could do something completely different. I could do I kind of like the idea of like a cylinder, but there's just so many cool things that you can do. Let me try a cylinder. Scale it way down. Bring it up. You can make like these little crystalline structures. I don't know. I'm just giving you guys examples. I don't know. I'm probably just going crazy with it for no reason, but just gives you an idea of like some of the stuff you can do with geometry nodes. That was just like a really quick example, but it gives the scene a little more depth, right? You can kind of tell like, oh wait, there's something like kind of happening here, right? I don't know, it's kind of fun. Hello, I'm new here. Well, hello and welcome. And for those that are new here, don't forget, guys, check out Super Hive. I don't know if I can still paste it in here. Yep. Check out Super Hive's product. This is for CG Cookie's core fundamentals of Blender, and we're teaching you guys a whole lot in Blender. All right, real quick, proportional editing lesson, and then we'll be done with Blender because this was a fun one, guys. All right, so if we have a cube and we tab into edit mode, maybe subdivide this a few times. Basically, proportional editing is enabled right here. You can click on proportional editing, and the way it works is when you drag something around, you can scroll in and out, and it'll allow you to kind of have like basically a type of fall off with things that are connected, right? Good example, easy example. If I want to take the center here and move it up and kind of bow it out, I can do that with proportional editing rather than having to go, okay, this one's going up, then I think this one goes up here, right? I don't have to think about it. I just use proportional editing, and it basically allows me to have our fall off in the shape of, in this case, smooth. There's other shapes that you can have fall off with, right? Just an example. So that's smooth. We can try root, which is going to look like this. So it's going to look a little sharper, right? Or you could try something like, let's try sharp, for example. This is sharp. You can see that it's very sharp. So if you wanted to create like a point, it would do that, right? It's a little bit different. I like smooth because it just makes sense. Linear will be, well, quite linear, right? As you can see, like almost like a perfect slope. There's also constant. I haven't really tried this one. What does it do? Oh, wow. Constant really is an interesting one. So you can kind of get the idea. I don't really like constant. I couldn't see a use for that. Random. I have not tried random. Oh, random's pretty cool. Give you some variation in your... I've never tried random. Very cool. And then, yeah, like I said, sphere. You have sphere. Kind of puts it, wow, it really puts it in like the shape of a sphere. So it gives you a really quick way to just like edit things, and that's kind of like proportional editing. That's how it works. I've used it plenty of times for certain things, especially when you're like, darn it, I don't really feel like smoothing things out, right? Yeah, and there's also loop tools. I would highly suggest loop tools, which is completely free. For example, maybe you have like a bunch of points. Let me turn off proportional editing. You have a bunch of points that are like this, right? And you're like, crap, I need to straighten out this loop, right? What you can do is you can go over here to your loop tools. You can click relax. And look, it'll actually relax that entire loop for you. Isn't that nice? You can also flatten it, but we're not going to do that here. You can also space things out evenly. And then you can relax again, right? We haven't talked about G-stretch. That's a whole different one. But it gives you an idea of like how this stuff works, right? Pretty cool. So that's proportional editing. And with that being said, guys, have a fantastic night. I am going to go ahead and go to bed. It has been such a fun time live streaming with you guys.